Hello, everyone, and welcome to another thrilling episode of the Day's Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
Hell yeah, dude.
How's that brisket?
It's nice, dude. It's nice. I don't know what to think about the burnt ends. They're not bad. They're nice, though.
That's like my favorite thing when
It's
you go to
different.
a barbecue place.
They're like crunchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different, dude. But, you know, here nor there.
Who's joining us in the studio?
Joining
this
us in the studio today, none other than Erik Goodge. And I hope I nailed the last name.
You nailed it, brother.
Hell yeah, dude. Where does that name hail from? What is that? Is that Germanic?
It's actually English.
No shit, you're a fellow Englishman?
Yeah, my
bless you.
great grandfather immigrated here to Evansville. Actually, he was the first superintendent at Oak Hill Cemetery. He's buried up there.
Nice. They give him a nice discount, or?
Yeah, I don't know.
hope
Wasn't
so,
around
dude.
for it, man. Yeah,
I hope so, dude.
yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, dude. So actually, my grandpa. Let me think, dude. Yeah, my grandpa was the first immigrant here as well from England. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and he moved from England to Maine when he was like a baby, and then then my dad was born. He left Maine and came here. Long story, but yeah, fellow Englishman. Did you have bad teeth as a kid?
Yeah, I feel like I still do, man.
Oh, I think your teeth look great.
Oh, appreciate it.
No, but I had horrible teeth as a kid.
You know, I don't know that I had a lot of teeth issues. I had like an overbite that I still have a little bit.
Hell yeah!
But you know, it's funny. My daughter, she's got some teeth issues, and
Dude, it's that.
my wife is very British.
For real?
So I guess it's just a British thing. I don't know.
Like, is she from British?
No.
Oh, okay.
But she's like 75. Like her, like you know, like. I don't know if you know how much
British
about your
generation.
heritage, but I'm like half German, half, English,
Yeah.
and I'm mixed, She's like almost all British, so.
Yeah, I'm like 3/4 British, 1/4 Beagle. Yeah, dude, it's just kind of rough roundabout. But anyways, dude, thank you for coming in and chatting with us. One way we do like to open the show, though, Mr. Erik, is for the folks at home. We like to do a rough elevator pitch before we get into the actual interview. So if you could just, briefly explain to the people, like, Erik Goodge,
Like you meet somebody in an elevator and they're
What do you
like,
do?
who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, what's up, brother? I'm Erik Goodge.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, I by day I am a financial planner. I launched my own financial planning practice in 2018. Been doing that full time.
Hell yeah.
By night, I'm a father, husband, avid runner. I run a lot. Could probably talk about that. And I volunteer.
Hell yeah, dude.
And you're a veteran.
I'm a veteran. Yeah, United States Marine Corps veteran. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. No, I'm joking. I like to give all my Marine buddies a little bit of grief. No, that's sick, though. What'd you do in the Marines?
So I was a Fort Observer.
Fort Fister.
Yeah,
Do they call them Fisters?
I think in the Army it was 13 Fox, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
We called them Fisters.
Yeah. So that's what my job was.
Yeah.
But mortars, artillery, that stuff.
You're
Dude,
getting
we're on
the
a
coordinate.
Fister roll.
Yeah, we have done a couple now.
Yeah,
That's so
this
funny.
is our third Fister.
Who was the first Fister in the last?
Not sure.
And stop smiling like that, dude. God, you're a sick son of a bitch, Tom. No, but yeah. So for the folks at home, yeah, the Fister, their job essentially, the Fort.
What do you
Observer-
guys? So we don't call them Fisters. What does Fister stand for? Like fire support something or other? What is?
I
what
think
is,
so.
Yeah, like what is that?
They're
acronym?
also their MOS
Isn't
name.
it fire, intel, recon?
So I think it's fire intel support.
I don't know.
Tactical. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, it winds up looking like Fister. It might just be FISR. I'm not sure. But yeah, for the folks at home, forward observers, they just essentially are the front men and women who essentially grab coordinates and then send them to one guy. And then that guy sends them to another guy who's sitting behind a really big gun. And then they shoot said big gun. Is that
so
the roundabout gist?
We target locate. So we're usually with the line company, so an infantry company, and we take contact and we need indirect fire, artillery or mortars, something. It's my job to locate the enemy and then translate that to a grid coordinate and then communicate the grid coordinate to the gun line.
And if they're like so much far off, you have like eyes on the target and you're like, all right, we need to
adjust. Yeah.
Just fire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the job is. It's a fun job. It's actually, I always told people it's the best job in the Marine Corps. That was obviously a very narrow, biased opinion because it's the only job I did. But it was such a cool job because we worked in such small teams that we had, like, we could just operate with impunity. So, like, a small team will have a home arty unit, right?
Yeah.
But we go out with the infantry units on deployment. So it would be like 5 of us, and we have a captain, a lieutenant, an FO, me, and a radio guy. So a comm guy. It's just us, and there might be another comm guy.
Oh,
So
yeah.
4 or 5 of us, right? We go over to the infantry guys, and they've got, their platoon sergeants and platoon commanders and their whole structure, our hierarchy, and
Oh, yeah.
they got all their PT and all their shit they got to do,
Mhm.
and we are just like, we got to do FO shit, so we're gonna
Hey man,
we're gonna skate.
we gotta go do some PCCs.
It was
and
great,
PCIs.
It was good. I mean, it's good when it's like the only thing between like it's like you and a lieutenant and a captain. You know what I mean? It's like
Hell
you
yeah,
can get
dude.
away with a lot.
Hell yeah. I didn't know what the word impunity meant until we just had this conversation. I'm real pumped on that.
You're gonna learn a lot tonight, brother.
Well, I was infantry in the Army, so
Yeah.
very stupid. You're going to have to explain a lot of shit to me.
Yeah, no, my brother was infantry, the 101st.
You get it. You get it. Yeah. Nice,
So
dude.
before we go too far down the rabbit hole, were you born in Evansville?
I was born in Evansville. I grew up in Newburgh.
So you went to Castle.
Went to Castle Elementary, actually. I went to St. Ben's and the Memorial later.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I went from, I obviously went to Marine Corps, but when I got back, I went from Memorial to University of Evansville. So I did St. Ben's, Memorial, University of Evansville, which are just like one block east of each other.
I went to UV. Yeah, nice, dude.
Lincoln Avenue. So I did the old Lincoln Avenue education.
Are you friends with Surges Getter?
Blake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Blake in years, but he was at UE around the same time I was.
So was I.
Yeah,
So
and his mom, or not his mom, his grandma, I think, was one of my teachers at St. Ben's.
So you looked familiar when I found your running videos from Paul. And and I was like, I know that guy. I mean, obviously
from Blake.
Well, I think I've met you through Blake somehow, or through the fraternity.
Yeah,
or
I wasn't
party
in
at a fraternity or something.
Yeah, but that's very, very well could have happened. I don't know.
I'm not sure, but yeah, you looked familiar that day. I was like, damn, I think
I got one of those faces.
Yeah.
You know
Hard
what I mean?
to forget. You never forget an eye patch, dude. You never forget. No, but yeah, I knew you looked familiar. Yeah, that's freaking crazy, dude.
So
and then also, shout out to the Catholics. Tom does have a question that he didn't want to ask. He was nervous about. Is everyone Catholic now? He asked me that the other day.
Is
what do you
everyone
think?
Catholic now?
Is everyone Catholic?
That's a good question. Beats me. I'm not Catholic.
Oh, damn. Okay. He's not Catholic. Damn.
Cool. Join the club. Me neither am I.
I just made the assumption.
Are they secretly just they reproduce a lot? I don't know. It could be.
Yeah, they really do.
All right. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
So did you
Tom.
play sports growing up?
I did. I played a lot of baseball. A lot of travel ball. I played at Memorial, but I had really bad grades, man, when I was at Memorial, and so I had to hang that up sophomore year, I think.
What was the standard? Like, you didn't meet the standard to play, I guess?
I think like the Indiana high school athletic rules wouldn't let me play. I think that's what it was.
Shit.
It's like you need to like have so many passing classes before you can play, and I wasn't there.
Oh, God. You graduated, though, right?
I did graduate. Yeah, they let me out of there. There's like good riddance. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Yeah.
So did you have any other hobbies outside of baseball? What'd you do after like sophomore year when you couldn't play anymore?
I didn't have a whole lot of hobbies in high school, I don't think.
Were you a big runner back then?
No, that's
Came after.
yeah, I was never, I don't think, I don't know, it's probably not too many people just love running when they're young, especially when they're younger, but that was much later, yeah.
Gotcha.
Oddly enough, I was into it when I was younger.
You were a runner when you were younger.
Yeah, I probably should have and could have ran cross country.
I ran because they made me in baseball, but like after that, I didn't run.
I would get home from school, and like this was when MP3 players were a thing. Like the iPod hadn't come out yet, where you could get like
How old are you?
35.
Okay.
So the iPod is not out yet, but I had an
Right.
MP3 player that I could get like 150 songs on or whatever. So I had this MP3 player.
Pretty sure the iPod came out before the MP3 player. You were just broke.
Say again.
I'm pretty sure the iPod came out before the MP3
Did it?
player.
I think the iPod was an MP3 player. Wasn't
Yeah.
it?
one came before the other, essentially, and it was the shorter, smaller ones, not the big rectangle where you could get like a gig worth of songs. So before that.
Nobody had done it before the iPod.
Whatever. All right, Apple. Anyways, I would take my MP3 player after school, and I would go like log miles. And I lived out in like Posey County.
As like a teenager?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
So I've just always been into it.
Yeah. So when I was a teenager, like running a mile was a big deal. You know what I mean? Like I just like
we made it, dude.
Yeah.
All 5,200 and whatever feet, dude.
I hated that day in gym class.
The mile time, dude.
Yeah.
So many kids would just walk it.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all are trash, dude.
Yeah. I relate.
Yeah.
So, what's after high school like?
So I was a bad student, really bad student, right? And I wasn't dumb. I was just kid. But I remember I was sitting in algebra class as algebra 2, and I'd failed algebra 2 already. So this is like my second go through, and which is really typical for me. And this kid in front of me had joined the DEP, like the delayed entry program for the Marine Corps.
So like you joined before you're 18, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. You're still in high school, but you commit to joining.
Yeah.
And so I was sitting there thinking, I was like, it's my first semester of senior year. I've got zero plans. Zero college is going to accept me because my transcript was just horrible. And I was like, he was talking about how he joined the Marine Corps, joined the DEP, and I was like, man, how'd you do that? And he gave me the recruiter's number, and I called and like joined that day. Like I called, and I'm sure the recruiter didn't get a lot of calls like this, where like I was never a recruiter, but I imagine those guys got a tough job. But it was basically like me asking, like, hey, can I join the Marine Corps? I wasn't like being asked or anything like that.
Do you take people like me?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, he's like, yeah, brother, come on down. We take all kinds of people like you.
Yeah, dude. So I didn't do delayed entry. I joined when I was 19, but when I went to take, you did the ASFAB, right?
Yeah, I did the ASFAB, yeah.
So like when I went to go do the ASFAB, like the baseline, and I don't know if I think it's the same across all. 35 is the minimum.
Yeah, I think you got to get in the 30s.
I got a 36. That's how good of a student I was in high school. So like, and I was a year removed too. So I got a 36, and they were like, "Hey man, you could be a tanker or infantry." I was like, "All right, well, let's go fuck shit up, dude.
Yeah.
I'll go to the infantry, I guess."
Yeah.
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 Do you remember your ASFAB, like how you did on it?
I think I got 78 is what I got.
Damn, you're not dumb. That's pretty good.
It was all right.
That's a very like middle high score.
Yeah.
So, like him, did you get like a list of options, or they just
when I first joined, my first contract was aviation maintenance or some bullshit. I don't remember.
Oh, that's like what you signed for?
Yeah, and I don't even know how that happened, to be honest with you. I don't know if it was like they just put out a list and I just kind of picked one, but I remember about halfway through the delayed entry program. So this is after I graduated high school, but before I had shipped off, I called my recruiter and I was like, I don't want to do aviation. I want to do like some sort of combat role,
Yeah.
And so he was like, well, there's this open contract ground option is what it was called. The open contract ground option. So it's like any combat arms role, essentially. And so I just signed that, having no idea what it was going to be. And then I figured out.
Well, buddy, you're actually going to fight the enemy with a serrated blade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Combat
your
only.
job.
So is Marine basic as hard as everybody says it is? I've heard like mixed things. I've heard it's not hard, and then like all the books you hear, it's like the hardest thing ever. How was it for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's definitely hard. I'll say it's definitely hard. But there's levels to hard, right? I don't know that it's necessarily the most concentrated, hardest thing I've done, necessarily because it's spread out over 13 weeks.
It's not like David Goggins hard.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like that, but it's challenging, but not like I think if you want to be there and you want to graduate, your chances are probably good as long as you don't get hurt or sick or something like that.
Yeah, which attrition is not bad. Like injury isn't like a big deal, or at least it wasn't for
I think
basic training in the infantry.
Yeah,
in the Army.
I don't know. I think we started with 90 or 100 recruits, and we graduated 60 or 70, something like that. So call that 60 to 70%.
Nobody died during your basic.
No, but I will say this: in combat training, we did have a guy whose heart stopped.
Oh yeah.
They had to like resuscitate him, and then we had to get punished for that for some reason, for not looking out for him. I don't know.
But he made it.
He made it. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Did they smoke him after?
No, they didn't smoke
How
him. They
dare
smoked
you try
us.
to die?
No, this is what happened though. They said you guys failed your brother. You failed your
battle buddy.
Yeah, you weren't looking after him. You were. It was just like how it is. They actually came out and told us that he died, and then they did, and we're all sitting there like, oh, that sucks, And then
That is wild.
and then they're like, no, he's not dead, but it's your fault that he almost died. Yeah, it's fucking weird, man. Marine Corps is a weird place.
Yeah, dude. I don't. What do you call the guys that run the? Like for us, it's drill sergeant. Is yours a drill sergeant?
Drill instructor.
Your drill instructors are like probably mentally ill. I think is most of the issue.
We had a really hardcore drill instructor. His name is Aubrey McDade, Staff Sergeant McDade. He's a Navy Cross recipient from Fallujah, Battle of Fallujah. And he was a hard dude, a really hard dude. Like we respected the shit out of him. He's still a hard dude.
He's fucking 60, still fucking
yeah. He's not that old, man. He's like his 40s.
Oh damn. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I always forget how young the leadership is. Like when you're 18.
Yeah. So I mean, he was a sergeant or a staff sergeant when I was going through boot camp.
So he could have been 25.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I guess.
you do basic training / boot camp, and then like I guess you have to go to like specialized school to be a fister. Like how to.
Yeah. And to be clear, we don't call them fisters in the Marine Corps. We just call them FOs.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna
That's kind of a weird
upset
name.
literally every Marine that's gonna hear this podcast.
Yeah.
I thought it was Fister for both, but
Yeah, no, we never use that
So,
term.
FO.
That's why I don't know what the acronym stands for. But
so FO,
yeah,
Board Observer.
So there's two schools actually that we go through. We go through Marine Artillery Scout Observer course, and that's in Oklahoma, Fort Sill.
Oh yeah,
Sucks.
yeah.
Is that just like staying blended in and like staying hidden and like getting reconnaissance information? Or
No, it's more learning about like the math and how to translate coordinates to or like what you see to a grid coordinate, and then calling missions. And then the other school is Naval Gunfire School, and that's actually in Coronado. Like we shared a little squad area with like the Buds guys and Marine Recon guys. So that was actually really cool because we got to see them do all their do their thing. We got to like do their O course, which is pretty cool.
Oh, they let you do their O course?
Yeah.
Nice, dude. How gnarly was that?
It's pretty fucking gnarly. It's huge. It's like I don't know if the Army has an O course. We have an O course in the Marine Corps, and it's not as big as the SEALs O course.
They had like a 60-foot wall you had to climb.
Yeah, I don't remember all the obstacles, but I do remember one. It's like you got to like scale this wall with your like you can only like hold on with your fingertips, and like there's like almost no feet support, and you got to go like sideways for a really long distance. It's fucking crazy.
Was there anything there? Like, did you pass everything, or were you able to like overcome every obstacle through the O course that they do? Or
I'm sure the way they have it set up, it's probably more challenging, like timed or something.
Yeah,
we were just
intervals.
doing it for PT. Yeah.
What about I
Nice.
mean, going through that schoolwork? That's a lot of math, and you just said you weren't that good at algebra too. So did you have to grind hard to like overcome that challenge?
Yeah. I did. I had to focus a lot, but it's like I don't think I'm dumb. You know what I mean? Like I just don't think I was like I had.
But you had to like, actually apply yourself now.
Yeah, I didn't have the proper motivation. Is what it was. But so as you go a few months of that in Oklahoma, and then a couple months of that in Coronado, and then you hit the fleet and you're ready to go.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, that's sick.
So did you deploy right from basic, or did you get to like come back home for a little bit? Or
no, I hit the fleet in 2008, and like the deployment tempo was really high back then. So we were out in the field constantly. It's like just I think we spent probably more than 6 months out of that year out in the field. just training up. We did a lot of before Marines go on, before infantry unit goes on deployment, they do these. Back then, it was called Mojave Viper. It's a combined arms exercise. It's basically you go out to the Mojave Desert, and it's just you got armor, you got infantry, and you got air assets, and they're all coming together. Yeah, and so it's like you're maneuvering and doing all these things.
Big war game.
Yeah, it's a workup. It's what it is. Yeah. So we did a bunch of those, and then I got assigned to the unit I was going with in January of 2009, I think is what it was.
And then where'd you go?
So Afghanistan.
Oh yeah, where about?
Helmand, Garmshire.
So Helmand is south, right?
Yeah, RC South.
Okay, what was that like? Deserty?
No, yeah, it is. It's very. There's a lot of desert, but where we were is this village, Garmshire. It's along the Helmand River Valley, and so there's like a mile on either side of the river. That's green zone essentially. Where it's
well irrigated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
What we always like to ask people that deployed how the combat landing was for the first time.
Oh, where they fucking dive in, scared as shit. I mean, dude, I don't like flying. Period. I don't know about you, but I like it. Just I don't know. I think it's a control thing.
Yeah,
I hate takeoff and landing. I just don't like it.
Not a good experience for you then.
But that was freaky. Yeah, dude.
Like your arms go flying, and you're like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah, dude. It was. We flew in from Kyrgyzstan, and it was just it was scary, man. But Bagram though is really. It's like the base where you land in, the main base that you land in Afghanistan. It's just really it's like a gigantic city. Yeah. And there's like restaurants and gyms.
It's chill, dude.
I think you saw like Kenny Chesney or somebody, right?
Toby Keith, bro. I saw Toby Keith on the fucking tarmac.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
It's fucking sick, dude.
And you'll hear like a mortar like 7 miles away or something, but like nobody reacts. You know, it's just like just like so spread out and big and safe, and so like it's kind of an underwhelming experience landing. It is. I mean, it's just like
well, once you get down, it's underwhelming. When you're in the air, it's definitely overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly right. When you land and you're there and you got all your shit on and you're like, all right, this is it. I'm in Afghanistan now, and it's just like people eating KFC and shit. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we quickly, went from Bagram to RC South, which is Helmand. And
how'd you get from there to there? Hilo, or did you guys drive out of there?
Holy shit.
I don't know how far Bagram is from Helmand.
It's a good distance. I actually don't even remember, to be honest with you.
I wonder if they took you on like a puddle jumper.
We definitely didn't take kilos. I don't think.
Did you do like a puddle jumper? Because they had a lot of those like civilian prop planes that they were flying.
It's kind of funny. I've never thought about how we got from Bagram to Leatherneck, which is like the other big base in RC South.
I bet you flew again. I bet you did.
We definitely flew in. I just don't know how we flew in. I don't remember if it was another. It was like definitely wasn't like a C-17. I don't think so. Maybe like a 147. I don't know.
Bro, I loaded up on one of those civilian planes, like a quad prop plane, out of Bagram to go to Tajikistan.
Really
dicey. I'm pretty sure that was the
prop plane.
Yeah, prop plane, dude.
Yeah.
That's scary because, Alex Trujillo was talking about like training like the locals how to fly helicopters.
And fuck all I know where he was from. You know what I mean? He could have been from fucking Tajikistan.
Yeah.
For all I know.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I don't remember how we got down there. I do know this. So when we got down there, I remember the first thing I remember thinking is just like how fucking hot it is. It's like so oppressive.
So you landed in summer.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were there from, we landed in March, April, I think. No, May. Sorry, it was May.
Oh, dead heat. Yeah. Dead heat of summer.
Yeah.
What was so you were there, I'm assuming you did a 9-month rotation, or was it 6 month?
Yeah, I got hit halfway through our deployment. So I was hit in August.
Oh, you got hit.
Yeah, IED.
Oh,
yeah. So let's rewind it back a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. I was
You land on base first time. Brian's like showers got blown up his first day on base. Like, do you remember?
At Bagram?
No. I leave Bagram, flew from Bagram to Fob Shank, and then from Fob Shank, that was the fob we were like closest to.
I've heard of Fob Shank. I've never. Obviously don't know where it is, but
it's like a miniature Bagram. It's dope.
Yeah.
Less KFC, more like Afghani stuff, but like it was still pretty chill. And then we flew on helos from there in the middle of the night to go to our COP, which was like 15 miles away or like 20 miles away, something like rough roundabout, and then landed on our cop in the middle of the night, and it was called Cop Chark. Tiny little spot in Logar Province, like near China Paki border-ish area, RC East. But anyways, yeah, so like ours was like a cop, like a real small outfit. I think we had 170 or 160-ish Americans, and then we had like 200 Afghanis on the fucking cop too. But like, how big was your place that you wound up at? You went to Leatherneck, and then did you stay there, or did you go to like a JSS or a cop? Or
no, we went down to it was called the PB line. There's some backstory I got to give you though to sort of set this up.
Certainly.
So before we went there was this big Marine operation, and they completely set up this territory with patrol bases.
Okay. Okay.
So these are brand new patrol bases that had been taken over by the British. Our job was to come in, take over from the Brits, and then set up a new line of patrol bases. So we get it to these patrol bases. There's 3 of them. The one that I was at was called Patrol Base Hassanabad. It's in southern Garmshire, and so we got a company, so 200 guys spread across 3 patrol bases. So they're small patrol bases. And we kick off this really big operation. It was Operation Kanjar, which is actually at the time was the largest Marine-led offensive since like Vietnam. It was the largest Marine helo insertion since Vietnam. And the idea is that we pick up from where we are. We pushed about 15 clicks south and set up a new line of bases. So the patrol base that we set up was called Patrol Base Kashte. And it was like a couple platoons, I think, in this patrol base, and then our terps.
Yeah.
It was a really austere. It was literally, we paid a local for the compound. I mean, there was no like electricity or anything like that. It was just.
So it was essentially like a couple of shacks, a couple of built.
It was a mud compound. Yeah.
Walls,
open air and everything. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That's way smaller than what I operated out of.
Yeah.
Like we were encircled by like HESCO barriers and shit at least.
Yeah, nobody had cots or anything. Everybody's sleeping on the ground except headquarters platoon. They had cots. I don't know why, but
is that you?
Yeah. So I was FO, brother. We're part of headquarters now.
Yeah,
so I got a cot. That was one of the rare luxuries.
Anybody ever try to like snuggle up with you in that said cot? You know,
nobody's trying to snuggle up to anybody in that heat.
Too hot.
Nobody's trying to do any of that.
I want to get to my question so bad. Can I go ahead? Let's jump forward a little bit and then we'll come back. Yeah. What was winter like in Helmand?
I have no idea. I was never there.
Oh, you didn't stay there long enough.
Yeah, okay. But I think it's rainy though, right? I don't know. I know
so you
that
never saw an Afghani winter?
No.
Damn.
When I was towards the end of our deployment, the guys pulled out in November, I think. I think it was really rainy, really wet. But damn. I don't know. I wasn't there.
That's crazy. Okay, sorry. All right. Anyway.
So I was going to ask next, once you guys got there, what was it like being out of the wire for the first time? But technically, your whole deployment's out of the wire.
Yeah, it was. There was no wire, really. But if you want to say the wire being the patrol base line, I guess, like the gate. My first time out of the wire was like a 2-hour firefight, actually.
Really? Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
It was June 21st, 2009, I think.
Fuck, that's hot, dude. I love a good gunfight.
Yeah. So we get out there. We actually left before sun up, so we were out there early. And it's actually a funny story about that patrol. It's my first patrol, like combat patrol anyway. And we go out before the sun's up, and in Helmand, there's a lot of irrigation ditches and shit, right? So there's like, you got to jump over these I don't know if you've seen videos, but there's like, it looks like a little river. They just cut.
Right, so when it rains, it flows down to the city.
Yeah, and they basically cut them so to redirect water off the river so that they flood their fields at night, and that's how they get water and stuff. But they stay full of water, so you got to jump over them. And we're doing this a bunch of times, and we're all loaded down with gear, and the sun's down still. So finally, the sun comes up, and we've been out for maybe an hour now, or a couple hours, And I looked down, and at some point I hit my mag release and had no idea. So I've just been patrolling around with one round in my chamber with no mag. And I looked down and I'm like, what the fuck? So I like leaned over to like one of the guys on my fire team. I'm like, I'd lost my magazine. And he's like, what? And I was like, I don't know where it went, man.
Yeah, dude, we're fucking Spider-Manning our way through these fields.
Yeah.
Dude.
And so I was so nervous about that though. For the rest of the patrol, I was like, man, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Like they're gonna come back and they're like, dude, you lost your gear out on your first patrol. But then we got in that firefight, and when we got back, you gotta
refit, rekit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You gotta get your rounds loaded back up and stuff. So I went over and I was like, yeah, I shot 2 mags instead of 1 mag.
Oh yeah, dude.
So
that actually brings up a funny story real quick. Just talking about the terrain of the agriculture, the way they irrigate their fields is like awfully strange, right? Like it's strange or it's foreign to like the Western world because they're operating strictly off natural gravity and flow of water and stuff. But it does prove, because they had that where I was at, it does prove to make like traversing these agricultural fields very difficult. And like, I just wanted to bring this up because there was a really funny moment where we were traversing a field like during twilight. The sun hadn't come up yet, or it was just going down. I can't remember. You're walking around with a monocle of nods on, so you've got, and you're just kind of trying to figure out where the fuck you are. You're going up and down these wadis and over these irrigation ditches. And then there was this one field that this little machine gunner dude in my platoon, he like gets to the corner of the field, and there was like, he thought it was a Kalot wall, like that he had to climb over, that was like 4 or 5 feet high. So he starts like climbing over it. And then once he got to the other side, he realized he was enclosed, and he fell down to the bottom, and it was like a shithole. Like he was in like a handmade porta-john.
Oh no.
Like a Kalot.
Yeah.
So did you ever see, like, speaking of the terrain, do you have like a funniest moment where, oh yeah, dude, homeboy went upside down in a river or something?
Yeah,
like,
there's, I remember one guy, I don't remember who it was, but we were patrolling through a field, and like a lot of times, I'm sure you know, like the fields are muddy as shit.
Yeah.
Because they flood them.
Yeah.
And, one of our guys was going through, and I think he was a mortarman. He just had a lot of shit on him, and he got like a quarter weight in this field, and he just kept like, as he kept going, it's like the mud's like rising up a little bit, and he's like just keeps going. It's like hoping praying it gets better. It's not getting better, and he's like waist deep in this shit now, and like we gotta like string him out of there,
suction cup him out of there. Dude.
Yeah,
God, that's the best, dude. That's the best.
So
Sorry, it's
I was
always
gonna
funny.
say, for like me being non-military, like when I think of a forward observer, like I'm thinking of like a radio guy, like that's got like in all the movies they got that guy that just got like all the like radio gear on and stuff like that. Was that you? Like, did you?
I carried one radio.
You didn't have two, like one for local, one for something else.
No big backpack with an antenna.
I did have a big backpack. I did not have a big antenna hanging out. I just folded the antenna down, but I carried like 75 pounds of stuff.
Damn.
But it's way better than a lot of the guys.
That's way better than the infantry, dog.
Yeah, well, some guys like machine gunners especially, and like mortarmen, like those. Yeah, those guys are carrying a lot of shit.
Yeah. So that first firefight was like a real like sweaty situation, like not maybe sweaty, but like a adrenaline rush. So like,
yeah, it was a shit show.
We didn't even really talk about it. What was it like? What was your first fight like?
Yeah, so we pull up in this village or we walk into this village, and we start getting a lot of ICOM chatter, like hearing stuff over the radio.
And the ICOM is like the Afghani radio, right?
Yeah. So that's like intercepting radio.
Yeah,
basically.
Okay. So getting a lot of chatter, and a lot of time, you get a lot of chatter a lot anyways, because they're just like trying to fuck with you. They're saying like, we've got 500 people watching them. It's like, okay,
give 500 people. Give us $500,000 and we won't kill you all. And you're like, dude,
it was
down here.
Always crazy stuff like that. But
yeah.
This time there was a lot of ICOM chatter, and so I remember I was just kind of like, I was on like a little dirt mound, just kind of watching this village, because like my job most of the time is just keep eyes on where we're going and what we're doing, and trying to find, like, if I'm the enemy, where am I going to be, and figuring out, okay, like especially if we're stopped or something, I'm just like looking, I'm like, okay, I think that's 200 yards out or 200 meters out, I think that's 500 meters out, whatever, and just thinking about that stuff. And I remember hearing the first snap, and like it sounds so different, like the sound of a gun firing when it's being fired at you
and not away,
versus like somebody, when you're on
ahead of you shooting away from you.
Yeah, it's not like bang, it's like snap,
Yeah.
And I remember hearing that, I'm like, oh shit, this is real. And so we're with the British still because our whole job was at this point was to learn the territory from the British because we're picking up from them, and then
this is like your left seat, right seat.
Yeah, exactly.
Handoff.
But at some point, I don't know why this wasn't figured out, but we didn't have good comms with them. Like they had their radios, we had our radios, and we got split in that firefight, and so it's just a fucking shit show. Because we can't communicate with them, and they're trying to maneuver, and they can't communicate with us when we're trying to maneuver. And we'd already been out for, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours at this point. So everybody's low on water because it's hot as shit.
Yeah.
And guys are like trying to drink water out of like the ditches and stuff. It's just gross.
Hell yeah. #, malaria. Dude.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's how you get it.
Yeah. And so we're just laying suppressive fire. Like nobody's really. It wasn't a good, situation. Like we're just trying not to like die. Just laying down suppressive fire, trying not to kill any of our own people because we don't know what the Brits are doing, like how they're maneuvering.
No one ever knows what they're doing, dude.
And so finally we're like, all right, well, we just pull back, and we're just like, okay, let's just regroup and figure out where everybody's at, and then we'll figure it out. So we did that. We fell back and then sent another patrol out to basically take care of that.
Anybody get hurt?
No, not in that first one.
How many times did you hear bloody cunt from the Brits?
Yeah, it's a popular thing for them, dude. Yeah.
I don't think I heard bloody cunt from the Brits.
Or just cunt in general. They love cunt.
I don't know. The one thing I remember about with the Brits is like their MREs are so much. I don't know if they're so much better, but they're just different. And so we were always like trading MREs.
Yeah, they didn't have like Red 45 and all that stuff that RFK's against.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody cared about any of that. They were just like, oh, they had this stuff. It's called chicken pate or something like that. It was like shredded chicken. I don't know what it was. It's like this shredded chicken salad thing. It was really good.
Damn, that sounds sexy.
Yeah.
Pate. Nice, dude. So you come back from that. What was like coming back to the base like once you got there? Was it hard did you find it was hard to unwind? Or?
No, well, everybody's hopped up, man, because it's like our first contact to the deployment. So everybody's like, and like we had these 2 Intel Marines who were attached to us, and they're like trying to talk to us to try to, I don't know, get intel, I guess, as Intel Marines
one does.
Yeah. And like they're getting nothing useful out of us because we're just like, everybody's fucking amped up and just like
jacked,
ready to kill. Yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah,
it's just like, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. There really wasn't much. The rest of the deployment got a lot more interesting. Like that was kind of like our first taste.
How so?
I was going to say, so that first group goes and clears the city. The next deployment, like the next time basically out on patrol, you guys march through that city and go to push the line farther, or?
Yeah, so, and there's no cities, just to be clear. It's just like
Town.
little hamlets, that they have.
Hamlet is a good way to put it. Yeah,
it's just like small groups of compounds, So we end up figuring out that we're doing this big operation I was telling you about, Operation Conjure. Nobody knew we were doing that operation. In fact, we found out we were doing that operation because some like embedded reporters showed up to our patrol base and we're like, what the fuck are you doing here? And they're like, well, we're here to cover this big operation you guys are getting ready to do. And we're like, it's news to us. So
yeah, what are we doing?
Tell us.
Tell me, dude.
So, and that's when our command pulls us together. Like, all right, this is what the plan is. This is what we're doing. So I told you it was the largest Marine helo insertion since Vietnam, and that was true.
Oh yeah, dude.
But our company was on foot for the entire thing. Which sucked.
That's so gay.
Yeah. So there's
no.
There's 3 Marine battalions, and each battalion's got 3 line companies, right? And it's like they've got all these platoons and stuff that are flying in on helos to their objectives, and there's just one company that's just fucking.
And you didn't tell them you could observe better from a plane.
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah. It was shitty. So like that was a big operation. We start before dawn. It's like really early, and we get up and we're just walking, and it's like walk, firefight, IEDs, stop, fight the fires.
Can I pause real fast? To
Yeah.
like, what was your first IED experience? Like seeing an IED for the first time.
Do you know what it was? Anti-personnel or?
So, my first IED. There's so many. So the way it worked, okay, just to set this up for you, there was one main road that goes through this.
Like an MSR. main
Yeah,
supply
it
route.
was Route Cowboys is what it was called. They were
Oh,
named
yeah.
after NFL teams. We had Route Redskins, Route Cowboys. Route Cowboys was the main one.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got a convoy of companies worth of vehicles. I don't know how many trucks it was. We have this is really long convoy, right? And we're V sweeping on either side of this convoy. So there's a platoon on the left side of the road, a platoon on the right side of the road. Maybe it was two platoons, I don't remember. But so I'm in one of these platoons on the left side of the road. And we go out, and the reason you V sweep is because there's remote det IEDs or command wire IEDs. The idea is that if you could get ahead of the convoy, you could sort of clear this path to stop people from either remote detting or command wire detting these IEDs.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was the main thing. That was the main threat at the time. But there was also pressure plate IEDs, which they don't need anybody there to set them off, right? So we're V sweeping, and I mean we're getting in contact with firefights every couple hours or so. So it's just like we're coming up on these villages that you can see the civilians running out, so it's coming. It's not like a secret. And we can't hide from anybody because it's like
you're just out in the open.
There's hundreds of Marines just pushing through cornfields.
Mile-long
Trucks.
fuck of trucks and trailers and jingle trucks and flags.
There's just no way to hide. Yeah, exactly.
Antennas.
So, I mean, the IEDs are just nonstop. There's so many. It's hard for me to even tell you. Like, I don't remember the first one. There was just hundreds.
You saw like one in a dog. Like that, we had a guy on one time that there was like a dog that had like an IED.
Oh yeah, they shoved an IED up its ass.
Up a dog's ass?
Mhm.
Yeah, like a dead dog on the side of the road.
Oh,
I think they technically gutted. They field stripped this dog. And
ours are all buried IEDs.
You ever see any EFPs over there?
EFPs?
That's the copper plated one. Were you there?
Like the penetrator? Like
those motherfuckers were scary, dude.
Yeah.
The coffee can, copper-plated IED.
Yeah, I don't know if they had that specifically or not. I mean...
But seeing one go off for the first time has got to be wild.
Yeah. So, they would... Ideally, we would find them before they go off, but...
You guys still have to set them off, like...
Yeah, you got to have EOD come in and take care of them. But the first one I saw get set off... that we didn't find, in time, I do remember that. That was a pretty gnarly experience.
Anybody get tagged or just
close call?
No,
it wiped out two Marines.
Fuck.
And we spent a lot of time trying to find them. So that one, I remember I was staring right at these guys, and like I'm sitting, because we're V sweeping, so I'm just kind of sitting there, just watching the front of the convoy, waiting for them to catch up to the V sweep. And we had a convoy pushing from the south to the north and from the north to the south, and these two dudes meet, and they both triggered it. And all I remember is just seeing like Kevlar just shoot a couple 100 feet up in the air, just see these yellow Kevlar sheets flying everywhere. And so I grab my shit and I run up to the road, and there's just like, I don't know, it's just like shit everywhere, like body parts and shit everywhere. It's just...
I also should preface that Tom does get... Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
What's that?
Just the possum in my DNA.
Yeah, the blood and guts, he'll drop like a...
Okay, so I'll stop there. Yeah, I don't want
Yeah, we're good there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to like... I know that like we've had several people on that like experienced IEDs for the first time as like a game changer. I think somebody on your base was like commanding a corner, and like people had walked by it all day, and then like one dude took a knee.
Funny fucking story, dude. So we're like feet outside of our cop, like feet, like we're right outside the gate, And we're not even really a mission. Like, we're going to these houses that like essentially adjoin to our cop. And there was like one dude that we wanted to talk to. So we're just like hanging out like right outside the gate. And there's this one building where, and you can see it on our like eye in the sky camera on the cop, but like the whole thing unfold. But my buddy's pulling security because we've got it all cordoned off while we're talking to this one gentleman. And my buddy's pulling security on the corner of this building, machine gunner, just on a knee for like an hour or two, just sitting there. You know, he'd get up, drink a little water, take a knee, like repossession, whatever. He's there the whole fucking time. We fucking wrap up the meeting or whatever, and then we were like, all right, peace out. So we start, like, he picks up and he starts moving when he's relieved by another guy. So American soldier relieves him. He's pulling security there. Another guy comes up, relieves him. You know, he proceeds forward, and then he's the ass end of the formation. So when he picks up, he's being relieved by an Afghani. He gets relieved by an Afghani A&A guy. My fucking American buddy rolls off. Afghani guy there for like 5 seconds. And then, boom, dust right on that corner. What are the fucking odds, dude?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And then it's all on camera too. Like, all my buddies have seen it. Like, we have it saved somewhere. But like, yeah, he just shoots up in the air and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I think he made it too.
Oh, really?
I'm dead serious. I think he lost a leg. I'd have to confirm that with one of my buddies that was there, but I think he made it, which is wild.
So continue on with your story about it. So you guys are pushing forward. You guys like, we had Corey Mock on, and they were talking about like similar to like there's one road and they're literally driving from one base to the other, and then the next day loading up and driving back, and it's the exact same road.
Yeah. So what we were doing is we were moving on this objective, right? So we had this compound that we were going to purchase and then set up. It was just that's what our job was. And it took us 3 days to get there because there was just contact. And anytime there's a firefight, it's just like, it's not like you stop, do the firefight, and then pick up and go. It's like the whole ordeal where everybody's
So are you camping out in like huts that you cleared through these towns?
Yeah, we're just sleeping out wherever we stop for the day. So we would just find either an empty compound or we'd just sleep out in a field or something like that. And the hard thing was getting water in. Like, that was really difficult. I remember, I think it was the second day we ran out of water. And so, and it's still sun up, so we still got some patrolling to do. And what we ended up doing in that situation is we ended up finding a compound with a well. It had like one of them hand-pumped wells.
Hell yeah.
And it had water, and it was probably contaminated as
Still
shit.
got malaria.
Yeah.
Did you ever get malaria?
No, but I got real sick. I don't know what I got. When I got back, they
Probably malaria, bro.
Well, when I got back, they tested me for a bunch of stuff, and they said you had some sort of E. coli strain or something.
Okay.
And that was a story, man. So there's just a lot of stories. I'm not going to jump forward to that. Remind me of that one, though.
Yeah.
You're good.
So we're running low on water. We're just freaking trying to get to this patrol base, and we finally make it. I think it was like the 4th of July, I think is what it was, when we finally reached our objective. And we got to this patrol base, and one of our sister company to the south was Echo Company 28, 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines. They were one of the companies that flew in, and they landed on their objective, and they were immediately swarmed. It was just like nonstop firefight for the entire 3 days that we are kind of patrolling down and taking contact and doing the IEDs and all the stuff. They're just in a nonstop contact, but they're already on their location. So at some point, they're like, well, we need to reinforce these guys. So as soon as we land on our position, they're like, all right, first platoon, you pick up and you're going. And I'm the only FO in the company. So wherever somebody's going to patrol, like, I got to go. Like, that's
You
just,
have to go.
I was doing like 3 or 4 patrols a day. It was just like, that's what my job was.
Hell yeah.
So we pick right back up. We've already been out for 3 days. We pick right back up, and we're just keep on patrolling south. So another 2 days, and we linked up with this company to the south of us, and they were taking a lot of contact. They were holed up in sorry, by the way, if my voice gets shaky. I don't know why. It's just like talking about this shit's weird.
Bro, I do.
I haven't talked about it in like
do the
15
same
years. It's just a weird, like,
No, you're good.
psychological experience.
You're good. I do the same shit, and Tom knows that.
I think I'm just like, amped.
Yeah.
So we get down there, and they took over this like old concrete building. I think it was like a schoolhouse or something.
Yeah.
And we get down there, and that's when I start feeling bad. And I still got to go out and patrol. Like I got a job to do, you know?
Yeah.
And we're taking indirect it's just nonstop firefights, right? And so I think they were this village that they set up, and they were going to try to hold elections or something. I don't remember what the deal was. I think that's what it was. I think they were going to have like municipal elections or something.
Oh, yeah.
So they wanted us to
Freedom.
Yeah. Hashtag democracy. They wanted us to like pull security or something in this village. Like, and when I say pull security, it was like a really big effort. There was like, we were just like one little piece of this thing, and then there was like elements all over the place.
Yeah. So you're like making sure that the people running aren't getting like assassinated like Mexico's elections.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that people go to the polls, I guess. I wasn't anywhere near where that was, but we were like on the perimeter of this village. And so we go out. I'm throwing up. Like, I wake up that morning and I'm immediately throwing up. It's just like the first memory I have that morning, I remember it so clear. Anytime I hear a rooster, I think of this morning, because like it's like farmland, right? And there's like chickens and shit running around, and I'm like outside of this little patrol base, and I'm just on my hands and knees just vomiting onto the ground, and there's this rooster like 4 feet away. It's like I'm just like dying, and this thing is just totally like could not be more less concerned with me.
Yeah, fuck off, bro. I'm dying here.
Yeah. So we gear up, and I go out, and it's like every 2 feet I'm just throwing up, drinking water, throwing up, drinking water, throwing up, and we get to this ditch. So there's these ditches. And so we take our platoon and we kind of split it into an L, and we're holding security like that. And I get to the end of my water. And so I got to go from my ditch to this other ditch where there's a corpsman, and they run an IV on me, like right out there while we're pulling security.
Hell yeah.
You're like hanging a bag from your antenna.
Yeah, we're sitting there holding a bag, and the guy's sitting there fishing for a vein. You know, it's just a shit show, dude. I feel horrible.
Yeah.
And
goddamn rooster still going at it.
Yeah. At this point, it's like noon maybe, and it's like 120, 130 degrees. It's just horrible.
Hot.
And we start to pick up and head back, and we catch contact, and I'm like, fuck, this is going to be horrible, because I'm out of water. We've pulled the IV because we're on our way back, and now we're pinned down. We're pinned down in the middle of this field. They caught us good. We were in the middle of this cornfield. There is like this much of a mud ridge that we're just like, trying to like get as low as possible, because we're literally we're in like a ranger column, just like spread across this freaking cornfield, and they're just mowing down on us.
What's that gun? The Dreska or
Dishka? Yeah, 51 caliber. No, I don't think they were Dishkas. It was like PKMs. Yeah, it was like 7.62 rounds. They're just going at us, and so we start laying down suppressive fire, and I don't remember who was next to me, but I think it was one of our corpsmen. Like, in a situation like that, everybody's returning fire, right? And so I think he's returning fire, and he's just pumping his brass like down my flak, like, because we're laying down.
Too.
Yeah, it's hot brass. I'm just like to the right of him.
Oh, like it's ejecting out of his
and landing down my
down
my flak, and I'm just getting burned.
Hell yeah.
And so I'm just having the worst day, just the worst, the worst possible day. And we end up getting out of that situation with some mortar rounds and some law rockets, and
you have to call those in.
Yeah, but I actually didn't call that mission in. I don't even know who we were. I think we had another platoon off to our left. That
you were just busy trying to not die.
Yeah,
from exhaustion and dehydration.
Exactly right. Yeah, so
I'm sorry. What was that last chord? I couldn't hear it over the vomiting.
I think the 10-digit grid is. Say again your last over. You sound like you're vomiting.
Somewhere between huck and yuck.
You sound like a bitch, dude.
Put your purse down, dude. Jesus Christ.
No,
that's insane, bro.
But I do remember this though. I remember like so that firefight is done, and we're going back to the patrol base, and we were pretty close to the patrol base already when we took fire. So it's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah.
And we got to cross this like it's like an I-beam bridge. It's like across a canal, and it's just like a steel I-beam,
Like a foot wide, 2 feet wide.
and I remember, dude, my world was coming in. It was just like this, like I had black coming in, and
that's
like
Jesus calling you.
Yeah, dude, it was bad. I was in rough shape, and we get back there, and I immediately go to like their little medical area, and I'm like, I fucking need fluids right now. I'm dying, and this corpsman like. So they run an IV on me, and I'm just laying there taking a bag. And this guy comes in, and he just like kicks me in the side, and he's like, "What's your problem?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm fucking sick, and I'm throwing up." He's like, "Fucking heat case, man, you fucking bitch." And I'm just like, "What the fuck, man? Like, I cannot catch a break today."
It's the water.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, it was from that well. It was
Had to be, dude.
Yeah, it was from
somebody
that
was
well.
shitting in that water supply, bro.
Dude, Paul was talking about that. I don't on one of the Watching the War episodes. It may have been like in a like break or whatever, but he said like basically a lot of the people he deployed with had to take that like basically like ingesting human waste or human shit or whatever. They had like a antibiotic or whatever that you had to take.
Methicillin.
Yeah,
That fucks people up too. I don't know if they even use it anymore. It's like got a black label on it now. It's
So
just
I
like
had to take the anti-malaria stuff.
the mefloquine.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
So I quit taking it.
Did it
so-
fuck with your dreams and stuff?
Yeah. So I had like for the first week I took it because you had to take it the whole deployment, and it was like
once a week.
It was so many pills or whatever. I took it the first week, and I was like, "Yo, fuck this!
Yeah.
I'll take malaria, dude."
Yeah.
So they would just issue me new pills. I'd throw them away.
Oh, really?
I was not taking them.
This is probably not a bad idea. I heard that I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I've heard that there are some bad things that can happen.
Brian
to
doesn't
certain
care. He
people.
took the Johnson and Johnson.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm done. I'm toast.
Yeah.
I'm toast, brother.
Yeah.
I got that fucking JJ, dude. I got
Yeah.
that triple
He
J.
never
in
has
me.
to wear sunscreen again. Double vaxxed.
Yeah, dude. Notice how fucking white and smooth my skin is. No, that's crazy, dude. So you get back and
You're getting fluids. You're getting all caught up. So like at that point, you've not only gone to where you were supposed to go, but you've gone past there to the next station.
Exactly. Yeah.
is that big mission over at this point?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. The mission was still going, but the objectives had been reached. But we were still taking a lot of contact. So I guess in that sense, the mission was still.
Okay, I gotcha.
But all the battalions reached their objectives. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
So
That's
then
what's
like
up.
from there, is it just like, FOing resources from one new base to another? Or I mean, they're not bases, but
Yeah. From there, we took 53s, CH-53s helicopter back to our original objective, which is patrol base Kashte, and then it's just getting to work.
was that your first helo flight?
I think so, maybe the second one, but yeah, it was only a couple, but yeah.
Was it just like a cool experience?
No, I mean I don't like flying.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
helos are dope. Dude, I hated flying in
I've only gone up in one time at like an Elvis Presley impersonation in Missouri. They had like a military helicopter and they would literally like load kids up in it and fly them like 50 feet off the ground, and then they would come right back down and land and be like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, ours were a little bit more evasive than that. But yeah, dude, banking in a banking in a Chinook or like in a Blackhawk,
Yeah.
bro.
What about the Dershka? Was you have like a
Dishka.
Dishka? What was your first experience with that? Like, did you get to like hear one, experience one?
Yeah, we took Dishka rounds. I mean,
Brian said it was scary.
It's terrifying.
They're none of them are fun.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like a distinct noise, right?
Yeah, it's like a thump. It's like a heavier hit.
So it's not that snap that you were talking
You'll definitely
about.
know. I mean, versus like a PKM or something like a AK or something like that. You can tell the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, like their machine guns, like the PKM and the RPK, they sound like rattly, like wild.
Yeah.
And then the fucking Dishka sounds a lot like our 50 cal, where it's just like a thump, like a constant do 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 do, like deep.
Yeah.
And when it hits, it fucking hits. Dude.
So you fly back to your main station, I guess, or what would that
Patrol
have been?
base.
Patrol base.
Yeah,
Kashka.
and then it's just rotation, man. I'm working. So a typical day was get up, do a patrol or two, maybe sometimes 3 patrols.
With how many guys? 30?
We started going out with squads, but we would take a lot of heavy
tiny.
contact. Yeah, we'd take a lot of contact, and so what we ended up doing is we would go out with a platoon, and then we'd have like a satellite platoon. You know what I mean?
Like on an OP or something?
No, like patrolling. So we'd have like one. We would have one out here, and then another one like swing out here.
Just kind of hanging on your flank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So, but I do remember early it was like we'd go out with like a squad, and then quickly started going out with nothing less than a platoon.
Hell yeah. Did you have any, speaking of OPs, did you have any like Army, fucking Navy, Marines, any OPs around where you're at? Or is this all like low, flat ground?
Yeah, this is really flat. There's no mountains.
No high point around you where you can feel safe and like, oh, somebody's watching me right now.
No,
nothing.
there's nothing like that. And we didn't have any
ISR.
other NATO forces around us at all. It was just our company.
That is fucking nightmare town, dude.
It was definitely like austere for sure. Like here's the thing though, like that's the kind of shit you want. Like if you're joining the military, you know what I mean? Like, or if you're joining combat arms, like that's what you want.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. Like to me, like that's what we wanted. Like it was like a true like combat deployment, man. Like we were out in the open. There wasn't like electricity or restaurants or internet or any of that shit.
Yeah.
It was like, MREs and they would fly in water, once or so a week, fly in ammunition, and that was it, man.
Do you get in, so from your first gunfight to that big mission through all those gunfights, are those like most of your gunfights, or like while you're out on patrol, you're getting in a lot of like out of this patrol base for the next however long until you get hit? Like are you receiving relatively pretty consistent contact?
Yeah.
So it's a pretty kinetic area?
Yeah. There was a little bit of a lull. So after that first big operation, there was probably like a week or two where it was just like pretty quiet. I'd say it's more than a week. It was definitely 2 or 3 weeks.
They were probably backloading.
And it was like pot shots and stuff like that, and contact here or there, but the tempo was a lot lower.
So I have a follow-up question to that. So tons of experience with contact, direct fire and calling in indirect fire and receiving indirect fire, just contact in general. What is that weird little feeling that you get right before, say you don't even see the villagers like run? Sense? Yeah.
Premonition.
Because there is one. Like when you're just out in an open field and there are no villagers to see, and you're like, oh, like now, like
I think it's probably like
real soon. You know what I mean? Like you can feel it, and you're like, oh, like
I don't think it's magic though. I think it's probably like you can just kind of tell, like if I was going to ambush somebody, I would be in that tree line right there.
Is it the anxiety that
maybe I don't know?
You're like running in your head on like some back hard drive that you're not cognizant of? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's so weird though, because you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but then there's also like like if there's nobody around, it's like, okay, why the fuck isn't there anybody? Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're in a village and there's like it's ghost town, it's like, okay, what?
Yeah, that's different though. But like, if you're just like out in the wild, like out in the woods, like out in the desert, like, and you just get that feeling, you're like, it's about to get spicy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's happened to me so many times, and I don't know what it is.
I don't know,
and
man.
I've talked to a lot of combat dudes that have seen combat, and they're like, yeah, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
They all kind of have like their own different, like,
probably a lot of things. I don't know.
So how many times do you think you guys went on patrol before your incident? Like how many months or?
Yeah. So that operation's just beginning of July. I am wounded August 17th. So, but when we get to August, that's
the big operation was in July.
Yeah.
That we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bro, you only made it a couple weeks after that. Golly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's literally like halfway through. So August though, shit picked up a lot. Like,
explain that. What do you mean it picks up?
So we're going out and contact picks up, but we start losing guys. My company, like we had one of our companies to the south had lost a couple guys, but we had been pretty lucky. We had one guy got shot in the leg. I was there for that. We got pinned down in a field, and that's actually kind of it was a crazy story for me. I almost got my head blown off with a freaking AT4. I was right behind an AT4 when they shot one of those things off, and that rung my bell, man.
I bet.
The AT4, if you don't know, is an anti-tank rocket. It's just like a shoulder-fired thing. And there's a back blast, right? It's like a bazooka almost, you know? It's like just a big back blast. And before they shoot off, they're like, back blast all clear, right? That's what they're supposed to say. And the guy did, but we're all pinned down in this little ditch. And I'm trying to call a fire mission in. And so I'm on the hooks. And this guy's got the rocket, and he's like, back blast all clear. And I don't have time to be like, I'm in your back blast.
He said it and hit it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he was just like, send it. And I'm right there, and it was just like, ping. It was just fucking horrible. So, but when that firefight was going down, we had a guy who got shot in the leg. But that's it, right? So we're lucky because we've only lost like one dude, you know. He didn't die.
He lived, yeah.
Just got shot in the leg. Just got shot in the leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be a wimp, dude. Get up. We got a mission.
Yeah. And so... But when August hit, I think it was like literally July 31st. It's 31 days in July, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I think it is. Yeah, it's where your knuckles meet, June, July. Yeah. So I knew what you were doing there. Yeah. January, February, March, April.
I thought we were looking at knuckle tats.
No,
it's
autism.
Yeah. So July 31st, we go out and we lose 2 dudes right off the bat. We had been I'm trying to, so we've been operating in this area, and we've been taking fire. We had wanted to go clear out this one area of our AO, and a couple days prior to that, my timeline might be a little messy here. We had a Marine who knelt down on an IED, kind of what you were talking about earlier, but he didn't make it. So, and that was a command wire IED, and we'd figured out where the command wire was leading to, so we wanted to go check that area out.
Yeah.
So we go out, and we've got 2 platoons, I think, doing this mission, and this guy jumps across a ditch or something, lands on IED, he's gone. And then we start taking fire. And so we're pinned down in this firefight. We got, I think it was Harriers on station doing gun runs for us. And we hear on the hooks that somebody back at one of our patrol bases had been hit. And we're like, what the fuck? So it's like a mile, behind us.
And you have to go back.
Yeah, no, we didn't go back. We were pinned down, Yeah. So we're sitting there and we're like, well, I wonder what happened. Must have been a sniper or something. We don't know. Turns out this dude was sitting on his rack eating an MRE, and a stray enemy round, ricocheted off a wall and hit him in the back of the head.
From y'all's fight?
Yeah, a mile away. Killed him. So that happened all in one day. So now we're down like 3 Marines. Within the span of a week. And this is just one company, you know what I mean? So it's not like a battalion or a regiment or anything, it's just like a small group of dudes. And then from there out through the rest of August, it was just like that all the time. It's just like guys going out, getting hit, taking IEDs. I ended up like 10 days later, I guess it was, 9 days later, August 17th, we're out on a patrol. It's real dark out. And we've got to cross this canal, and our squad leader is a good dude. I think he's still in, actually. He, like when you come up on a crossing, like there's like an obvious place where you would cross, and like that's not where you're going to cross, right? Because that's where the IED is going to be. You know what I mean? Like if the easiest spot that you can cross is not where you're going to cross, right?
Right.
You're going to go find some bullshit place that nobody would cross because that's where they're not going to put an IED.
Yeah.
So we kind of get bunched up around this canal and like bunched up, I mean, too close to each other. And one of our Afghan partners, A&A or whatever, was like, well, fuck that. I'm just going to cross right here where it's nice and easy. And he triggers the IED. And so he's like a few feet from me. And that's how that ended up
Did
happening.
he die?
Yeah. Killed him, killed another Afghan, killed another Marine. And then I took shrapnel in the face.
Damn, boy. And he was a few feet away from you?
Yeah.
So you're lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah.
So you go lights out
damn.
at that point?
Not exactly lights out, but definitely not fucking fully conscious. It was a weird experience. Like the first thing I don't remember hearing. That's the crazy thing about being that close to an IED is like you don't hear anything.
Just black.
It's just ping. You know what I mean? Like you don't hear anything. Like it just immediately blows your eardrums, right? So it's not like I heard a boom at all. It was just immediately quiet because everything is just my eardrums are blown. But I remember sitting there and I already can't see very well because it's so dark. But I just remember feeling the pain. Like it just was so fucking intense and I fell down. And it had broken my helmet off my head. And my helmet was down over my face and it was just like pulling up with blood. And I just dropped and I'm just laying there. And I knew it had happened, but I couldn't have like coherent thoughts. Like I remember laying there and just being in a lot of pain and being really thirsty. That was another thing I really remember is like being like so fucking thirsty. I don't know why, but I was just like...
Your body was going into shock.
Yeah, I just like couldn't get enough water. And then I remember the Blackhawks coming in. Army did all our medevacs and stuff. So
cool.
Yeah, the dust off comes in and they load me up. And after that, it's kind of touch and go for me. I don't remember a whole lot, but I do remember landing back at the first echelon of care. Was a fob Dwyer is what it was called. And it might have been like a what'd you call it, shank or whatever. It might have been like that, like a medium size
like
sort of.
It's still a fob, but it's like
it's a bigger but not huge.
Like 8,000 people there. It's not like 20, 50, 100,000 soldiers.
So they start your care there and then fly you out of the country.
Yeah, so I remember landing there and then trying to claw. Like I couldn't see, like my face. Like I still had this eye, but it had took shrapnel directly, so the eyeball was actually like cut in half.
Right.
And let me know if I need to stop.
Oh, you're good.
And so I remember just like clawing at my face, trying to like see because I didn't know what was going on. And they're like, "Brother, just chill out." And they ended up putting me in like a coma, a medically induced coma. And I think the next memory I have is Germany. I woke up in Germany. Briefly.
Do you know how long you were in coma?
3 days, I think, is what I was told.
Damn.
And that's just like basically like anesthesia. So like you go out in Afghanistan and you wake up in Germany and it's like to you no time's passed.
Yeah. The weird thing though is like I knew what had happened immediately. Like I woke up and I knew what had happened. And the first thing I did was I checked my arms and legs. I was like, fuck. Like I want to make sure I've got all my arms and legs, and that was there.
Right, ask the nurse to leave the room so you can rub one out.
And I remember the first questions they asked me, like, "Do you know who the president is? You know what year it is? Who you are?" Well, they didn't ask me if I knew where I was at. 'Cause I don't think they expected me to know where I was at, but
just checking for concussion and brain injury.
Yeah, and so I do remember though. I got a cool story about that. Please remind me about a Marine who met me in the hospital. So don't let me forget that. But I remember they put me on the C-130, and it's like a flying hospital, and it's it's the worst scene, man. It's just like a row of beds down the middle of the hospital of this flight, and I'm in one of the beds. I have one of the top bunks. They have them stacked, and so all the really fucked up guys are in these beds, and then along the sides they have like bench seats. The less fucked up guys are sitting on these seats. And so it's just a fucking it's just a C-130 filled up with just fucked up dudes.
That's got to be wild. Like to me, everything's got to be like bolted down And like, there's probably dudes like basically chained to bed, not chained to bed, but strapped in.
You're strapped in. Yeah, it's exactly how it is, and it's just it's just the worst scene. But I got out. I was like, "Fuck this," you know. And so I got out of my bed. I climbed down, and they had like a little restroom towards the front of the aircraft, and I went up there. And I remember looking in the mirror, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" Because my entire side of my head was just like a fucking beach ball. It was just huge, and I had this massive gash on the side of my face. But it turned out like I had broken a lot of the bones here. Like my skull was fractured. All the bones of my face was just like cornflakes. It was just really shitty. But yeah, man, it was a really freaking surreal experience. I remember landing in DC. You land at Andrews Air Force Base, I guess is what it is.
Yeah,
whatever
Andrews
it is in
Medical
DC
Center.
there. Yeah, and they put you in a ambulance, weirdly, like a fucking ambulance, from there and send you to Bethesda. It's Walter Reed now, but back then it was Bethesda National Naval Medical Center. And I just remember being so happy I was home, but it was just this weird like overlap, like where I was so drugged up that I would like wake up and think I was still there. Like I would like was looking for my rifle and shit like that. It was just like, it took a little bit for that to like settle in. It's like, okay, I'm home, you know.
What about this Marine that visited you in the hospital?
Yeah, so this guy, his name's Jack.
Is this at Bethesda, or are we talking about in Germany?
Germany.
Hell yeah, dude.
So the Marines have a liaison attachment there to interface with the families and the Marines, because a lot of times these guys aren't making it back. Like they're going to die before they get home. And so there's a liaison there to coordinate with the families, right? And this guy, I don't remember ever talking to him, meeting him or anything, but he is going into all the Marines' rooms and talking to them and just keeping spirits up, doing his thing. And this guy, he talks to me, and I obviously don't remember. Years later, I'm talking like a few years ago, I get I don't know if it was Facebook or phone call out of the blue from this guy. And he's like, "You don't know who I am, but I talked to you in Germany." And like he kept a roster of all these guys' names that he met and followed up with them, and he still follows up with them. He's
That's awesome.
I forget how many hundreds or thousands of guys that he keeps in touch with to this day. And he has like, it was crazy that he had notes that he had taken from our conversation. And so that's how I knew he wasn't making shit up, because he was like name dropping. He's like, "Yeah, I remember your buddy Dennis died like a week before you got to Germany." And I was like, "Damn, dude!" It's like, that's so crazy. But it's just that it's so wild that dude remembered that and then like came back to
and
it.
Reached out like a decade later.
So actually, I just had dinner with him a few months ago, so we still stay in touch.
That's awesome.
That's so fucking nice, dude. Shout out to people like that.
What's like transition like back to civilian life? Like, because I assume you get honorably, you get a Purple Heart and you get
Yeah, so I was in the hospital for, I show up in the hospital in August, right? I get out of the hospital the following October. So October 2010. Damn. This is 2009. I get out of the hospital in 2010,
so
October.
Like you're in there for like 14 months.
Yeah. And there's a lot of surgeries and stuff happen. I had a brain bleed, what's it called?
Like a brain hemorrhage?
Yeah, hemorrhage. It was brain hemorrhage is what it was. So they had to take care of all that stuff, right? They actually enucleated is what they call it. They amputated my eye, for lack of a better word. And then rebuilt this side of my face. So all the bone here is all plates. It's not bone, it's like titanium plates. They spent a lot of time trying to reconstruct like my actual eyelid or my eyes. So
did you have to do skin grafts, or was it like mermaid skin?
Yeah, they took they took a bunch of skin from this ear, from behind this ear. They took some from my forehead. They got to use a particular type of skin. They can't just take it from anywhere. They took a bunch from the roof of my mouth. And they did the best they could, but it's still pretty fucked up. So I just keep it covered.
Do you feel anything on the right side of your face?
Not much. I had a lot of nerve damage, so I do feel some, but it's pretty numb over here.
Wild.
So
dude.
14 months in, I assume there's like physical training aspects of like do they like I assume like 14 months like since you didn't have any like leg extremity issues like that you could still walk around and stuff like that, but it was probably a lot of like perception and like relearning how to drive and like
the initial phases was my balance was really fucked up. I had a lot of vestibular issues, and there's like these stones in your ear that are that tell your brain where you are in space. And I still, to this day, if I'm congested or anything like that, I feel like I'm floating. Like I just have a lot of vestibular issues. So, but back then it was even worse. Like I couldn't lay down without feeling like the world was unraveling. It was
I get that way when I drink and smoke.
Spins. Yeah. It's like the spins times a million, you know. It was horrible.
That's awful.
So that was the first thing.
What did you do? Just sedate yourself?
They do these exercises with you, man, where they like take your head and they like move you real quick through, and they like reposition those stones. Really, it's crazy what they can do. But
it would make a difference.
Yeah, it fixed me. Yeah.
I think those are the same stones that they were able to like bring the dire wolf back.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
I don't know what that is.
So they were talking about the stones in the ear.
Yeah.
And the stones in the ear are like they take a while to decompose and stuff. And so like they brought back the dire wolves, which is like a ancient thing.
Wow. Yeah,
and they found like the missing link of DNA through those stones in the ear. They were able to crack them open.
I thought you were making like a comic book reference.
No.
That's a true thing. Yeah, they did. There are dire wolf puppies out there now. There's like a dozen of them.
But so you get out, and then so like, do you immediately, you know, when you leave the hospital to get to go home, or?
Yeah, I went home on leave that December, which was a shit show because I was in rough shape, so I was like drinking a lot and stuff, you know, as one does.
Depressed, you know.
Yeah, I was very depressed,
and you were
anxious. So what I did though, I went back to my unit actually after that October, and I started to work up again to go redeploy. And I was going to redeploy in 2011 with, I think it was 1-6, so 1st Battalion 6th Marines, I think. My timeline might be off there, but it was I think 6 Marines. And I was one signature that I needed to get signed off from this doctor at the hospital down in Lejeune, and she wasn't going to let it happen. So it was that point. So that process took like another year and a half. So now I'm past my contract, and I start the med board. That takes more time.
Did you show him Sir Adrian de Wiart? You know who that is?
Do you know who Sir Carton Adrian de Wiart is?
No, I don't.
He's a British, well, we can talk about it after the show. He's a British general. I think he retired at Lieutenant General.
He fought in like the Boer War and World War I and stuff like that. But he, like, first day on the battlefield, got shot in the eye.
Lost his eye?
Yeah, and they gave him like a combat-issued glass eye.
Yeah.
And so they were like, you have to wear this if you're going to redeploy.
Yeah,
and he said okay, and he took it out and he threw it out the window and put an eye patch on immediately.
Yeah.
And like he's got photos with Churchill like in the background and stuff like that. Real cool guy. You have to look him up.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't know his story.
So you contract out at that point?
Yeah, at that point I am just like a lame duck, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of dead in the water going through the med board process. And so I'm with my unit, but I can't really do anything. So I'm training FOs, but that's it. And I got real depressed at that point. Like I was like really fucked up, just like super anxious, really like all the guys I joined with have gone on to their next deployments or their next duty station. So I don't really even know these dudes. Like I don't, you know what I mean? So it was just like a really sort of lonely chapter. At that point, I med boarded out and came back here.
Is that when you got into running?
Soon, but not quite. Yeah. So when I got out, I came back and I worked for a year, worked this job that I really didn't enjoy. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but my girl at the time convinced me, my girl, now wife, so girl at the time, she's still my girl.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Convinced me to go to college. And so I started going to school. And that's when I got into finance. And so I started at Ivy Tech. I ended up transferring over to University of Evansville. When I was at UE, I met this guy who was running his own investment advisory firm, like his own firm. And he was just kind of showing me what the business looked like. And I started working under him, started building up a little bit of clientele of my own. And when I graduated from UE, I launched my own firm. So about then is when I really started getting into running.
So are dividend stocks really the way to go?
I mean, that is a way to go. I don't know if it's the way to go.
If you're trying to, I guess, play it safe and just hope your money does better than a savings account with a...
Yeah, that's probably a safer way to play it for sure, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know anything about finances.
Absolutely nothing about that.
Yeah,
I got a good savings account. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not really.
Yeah.
Because, like, your savings account has, like, maybe a 1% return? Whereas, like, a dividend yielding stock is going to give you a more
I don't
return.
do anything that fucks with the market. Yeah.
You're fucking up.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, that's up to you, brother, but... yeah, so
is it like largely, are you just doing like stocks as like buy high, sell low, or I mean buy low, sell high, or is it like gold or like all across the board?
So what I do is I have an asset allocation model that I use for my clients based on where they're at in their life. That has a range of asset classes and rebalances based on certain parameters. So long story short, to make it really easy to understand, you can imagine there's like, I don't know.
You got minor league, big league, T-ball,
yeah,
all that.
Yeah, it's like you get 8 to 10 funds and you shift money between them based on where they're at.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like, a new iPhone's about to launch. You put some in Apple, wait for it to launch.
No, I don't do that. There's some good reasons why you shouldn't do that. Because I mean, that's what everybody's going to do. Right.
Right.
So no, I don't do that. I invest at the level of the asset class, not at the level of the company. And I think there's really good reasons to do that. I don't know if we'd want to get into that.
Maybe another time. I know we were getting close to time, and we'd love to have you in again to talk just strictly stocks and assets and stuff along those lines. Before we ask our wrap up question, I want to get into like basically you're running and like not only do you run, but like you run with a purpose.
Yeah, I run a lot. So today is day 681
in a row.
Days in a row that I've gone for a run.
I have seen your story. You're posting this on your reels or on your personal Facebook or something, right?
Yeah, Instagram probably.
Yeah, Instagram is where I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been doing that since February.
Oh, damn it, Tommy.
Yeah.
You wanna?
Yeah. So you're on day 600 and.
Yeah, 681. Today, I woke up at 6:30. Well, I went for a run at 6:30. Did 10 miles. I'm averaging something like 6.5 miles a day, something like that. I did my first 50 miler this past November. This past November, I actually did a 50 miler, and then on Saturday, and then the next Saturday, I did a 50K, which is a 31 miler.
That's crazy.
There's a Marine 50K race.
Oh, really?
In Atlanta, DC, but it's ran by the Marines, and I was like training up for it. There was no way
that through DC.
Yeah, it was through DC. That's what it was, because I wanted to run over the Potomac and all that jazz.
Oh, that sounds cool. I didn't know about that. I would definitely be down for that.
And it's ran by the Marines.
Yeah,
you should look it up. It's just Marine 50K, I think.
I would definitely do that.
DC.
Yeah.
Search that. It's dude, you would love it.
50K is a good
I think,
distance.
weren't you posting like each run was dedicated to a soldier?
Well, this 50 miler was all about raising money for Mission First, which
Hell yeah, represent.
Phenomenal non-for-profit here in town.
Yeah, we're building the sanctuary on the hills, our big project right now, and so we raised about $4,000 for that project with this.
That's nice. And it took you how long to run that? You know,
It took me 9 hours and 11 minutes to run 50 miles.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what's that per hour? You know what I mean? $4,000 divided by.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I have no idea.
That's a good rate. That's what I'm getting at, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were making some good money.
Yeah, it was good. But honestly, though, running's like my anchor in the ground. You know what I mean? Like it's so nice to have one thing that happens no matter what. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. Like I've woke up with the flu and gone for a run. It's been like negative 10 degrees outside and gone for a run.
You just hear that rooster in the distance.
Yeah, man, just seeing it. Yeah. Walls closing in. Yeah.
So you think like running really helped you burn off that like post-military angst?
Yeah, I think it probably continues to. I'll tell you what. It purges a lot of evil for sure. It's hard to be amped up after a 20-mile run or something. You know what I mean? Like you go out and like I went out and did 10 miles a day, came back and I just chilled with the family on the couch. Like that is just par for the course. Feels good. I mean, it's good for your body. It's also
staying
hard.
In shape. You look great.
Yeah, I lift a lot too. I lift 5 days a week. So it's just like, I always like to think in my mind, this is cheesy, I know. But I right now, the way my schedule is, I'm running, but when I'm running, the sun isn't up yet, and I'm running, the sun's coming up on my run. When I'm lifting, the sun's going down. So I like to think, like, if you only took 2 snapshots of the world, and you could only see me, like, when the sun's up and the sun's down, like, I'm just getting after it. Like, that's like your only 2 pics. Like, this dude just doesn't stop. Like,
right. He's like the white David Goggins. He just keeps going.
It's like Jocko, but in the morning and at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that is interesting. I don't know. Like there's something to be said about, we were talking to Paul about like guys that have seen combat, they get out and they come home. Biggest thing that helps is staying physically active. No matter
Absolutely.
like keep that in your lifestyle, because if you get rid of that and you just turn into a fat turd.
I did when I got out, man. I ballooned. I got up to about 220 pounds. It's kind of hard to believe now.
Well, not even from like the fat turd part, but I mean like just say like you take out the physical activity, and if you become a turd, not
exactly. But that's what I'm talking about. Like when
you're crazy up here because you're not burning this energy.
I heard this. I think this is like a Rogan podcast. He was talking about this. I think this might have been like one of his Goggins episodes. He was talking about how like your brain is like a battery, and it's like if you don't run off that charge, like you just have like this stuff that oozes out the top. It's like it never, like you never use the energy. It just starts to kind of come out of the top and it corrodes and gets all nasty and gross, right?
Yeah.
It's like you just got to get out there and burn that stuff off. And that's like, honestly, that's a big part of my like life philosophy is just burning that stuff off, dude. Just purging that stuff.
Yeah, your goal should be to die on empty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your last day on earth, you should have done something that day physically active, and then like you should die on empty.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Right now, my mission is to run every day for the rest of my life, so we'll just see what that looks like.
Or until you need a new knee.
Yeah. I tell you what, they feel great so far.
Good,
so,
brother.
Yeah,
Good. Hell yeah, dude.
What advice do you have for like the young men out there?
Young men?
Like, I mean, normally like for military guys, we say guys wanting to get into the military, but also like you're like staying physically fit. You're in the finance world. I feel like you could give some solid advice to just like that next generation of men.
I think if your body is fit, like it does a lot for your brain. You know what I mean? Like the two things aren't like separate. It's like your brain is part of your body. It's like if you keep yourself in good shape and getting after it and challenging yourself and getting super uncomfortable on a regular basis, it's just going to like raise your baseline. It's just going to make you that much better. I think that's the biggest piece that I could impart to a young person.
Hell yeah. Nice. What are you blinking at me for?
Yeah. So we do like to wrap up on one question. So you mentioned a lot of like dark, lonely moments, but like I guess this question's more of a motivational question. So think of it that way. But during your darkest, deepest, loneliest moment, where you could have just hung everything up, you know what I mean? Just tapped out, just quit in however you want to take that. But at any point in this journey, you could have quit. What kept you going?
That's a good question.
What pulls you through those moments when times get hard?
Yeah.
And you've had a metric fuckload of those. So what is it that was on your mind, or what was it that was feathering that clutch out and putting some fuel on the fire?
I think at risk of making this probably more complicated than it needs to be, I would say that it's been different things at different points in my life. I've reached that point several times in my life. I reached that point when I first got back from Afghanistan. I reached that point when I figured out I couldn't go back to Afghanistan. I reached that point when I got out of the military. I reached that point again this year. One of my best dudes, my best friends from the Marine Corps dude I was in Afghanistan with, passed away. And I think for me, it's all about growth. It's just about like, if I can envision a future that's better than what I have right now, that's a future I want to get to. And I think guys get in trouble when they are backward looking, when they stop looking out the windshield and they're looking in the rearview mirror. I think that's when you get in trouble, because there's no growth back there. Like, there's no growth in the rearview mirror. Just keep looking out the windshield.
Not about how hard you fall. It's about how hard you bounce back up.
Yeah, exactly right. I think in physics, resilience, like when you're talking about a material, it's like how quickly or how able a material is to retain its shape, like bounce back to its original shape. And I think it's the same sort of thing with people. Like, resilience is like, how quickly can you get back to your standard sort of baseline when something bad like that happens. It's like the shorter you can make that interval, the better off you're going to be. Like, just keep your eyes out of the rearview mirror and keep looking through the windshield.
It's great advice.
Hell yeah, brother.
Well, as we wrap up, where can people find you if somebody wants to reach out to get some investment insight, or, just have military, seeking advice or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm all over social media, so you can find me on Facebook, Instagram.
Shout out to your YouTube page.
Yeah, I just started running a YouTube page. I have my investment practice. It only works with sort of a select group of families, but I have started a YouTube page to sort of attract some of the families that I'm trying to work with. So you can find me there. I am confident that I'm the only Erik Goodge, Erik with a K, that exists. So if you type that into any search bar, you'll find me.
What's the name of the firm too? We didn't even say.
UVest Advisory. So
UVest Advisory.
UVest Advisory. Yep. The letter UVest Advisory.
Hell yeah, brother. So give it a Google search, man, and find the Goodge.
Last minute shout outs. Who's got you to where you're at and who's keeping you going?
Oh man, so many people, dude. I think my wife, for sure, give her a big shout out. She's been with me since, like, all the way since even before I got out of the Marine Corps. Yeah, I don't know, my kids, man. I've had a lot of good mentors along the road. I don't even know where to start with that. Mission First, that entire board is awesome. Danny, Brian, Paul, all the guys you know. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. But yeah, give this guy a search. UVest Advisory. Check them out on the Google. And yeah, man. I really appreciate your time, Eric. You could have done anything else on a Sunday evening, but you came in and you talked with us.
And thanks for opening up. You know, that story's not easy to tell, and we appreciate it.
I appreciate the opportunity. It's been a lot of fun, guys.
It's tough. I know, man. I know. But thank you so much. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you guys. If you've made it this far, like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. And stay tuned next week. This has been another thrilling episode of The Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
This has been Erik Goodge. Thank you, sir.